Conductor Kenny here at Bound Brook Station, the only place in New Jersey where you can see the Port Reading line, the Lehigh line, and the Raritan Valley line all in one place. Back in the day, this was a major junction for three different railroads: the Reading Railroad, the Jersey Central Railroad, and the Lehigh Valley Railroad. The main line was the Jersey Central Railroad. I am basically standing in the middle of what was once the main line. Nowadays, the only line that's really used are these two tracks over here, which is the main line for the Raritan Valley line, which, like I said in the previous video, mainly follows the former CRNJ main line. There used to be a third track right where I'm standing, and the fourth track was over there. The two station buildings was this building over here, which is now closed up, and this building over here, which is now a restaurant. Nowadays, there really isn't a station building, just an empty platform that people wait on. Prior to the days of the formation of Conrail, the Reading Railroad used to run down this line. As I discussed before, it had the majority stock in the CRNJ company. This is where they split off mainly on a junction, which is behind me. I'll show you that later. Nowadays, the Conrail Shared Assets uses this junction over here to connect to the Raritan Valley line, but that's very rare, as there's only a few local businesses there, and they're only a few miles up ahead, so we don't see that too often. What we're looking at now is the former Lehigh Valley Railroad main line. As I discussed previously, this line was a direct competitor of the CRNJ, and Bound Brook Station was one of the few places where the lines basically ran right next to each other. Nowadays, this is the main line for freight trains that heading through Bound Brook and most of New Jersey, and this section hosts CSX and Norfolk Southern trains. One of Bound Brook Station's notable features is this small freight yard. This is mainly used as a storage yard for hopper cars that are not in use. Occasionally, a local freight train will come and switch out some of the cars and put some different cars in there for storage. I don't know why, but it seems that most railroads seem to have a surplus of hopper cars these days. Like I said, I'm not really sure why. As you follow this track here, this is the former Reading Railroad junction that connected to the Reading Railroad main line. This is what's now the Philly sub of the CSX Railroad. The line went past that bridge over there into Manville, where it split off from the Lehigh Valley main line. There also used to be a tower here, but it was destroyed during a railroad accident. Now, if you look past the Lehigh Valley line, you'll see a single track. That is the Port Reading line, which runs to the aptly named Port Reading, New Jersey. It's a port, obviously, and it's used for exports, mainly for oil and intermodal stuff. Doesn't see as much traffic as the Lehigh line, and it's more a sidetrack nowadays, mainly run by Norfolk Southern. Back in the days, it was originally ran by the Reading Railroad, though it wasn't their main line. More often than not, trains would head off on the former CRNJ to Jersey City. If we turn this way and look down there, you'll see a switch. That switch is how the Port Reading line connects to the Lehigh line. That switch, called Bound Brook Junction, is technically the beginning of the Port Reading line, as that's the point where it split off from the Lehigh line. Now, if you notice, there's a second bridge next to it. That bridge was used by the Port Reading line back in the days of the Reading Railroad, as it did not share the trackage with the Lehigh Valley Railroad. I'm not 100% sure on how it actually worked back in the day, with trains from the Reading Railroad coming on both sides, but by Manville it was all sorted out, and the Lehigh Valley line went to Phillipsburg, while the Reading headed out to what's now the Trenton sub, or Philly sub, whatever you call it, which is the line that runs through Hopewell, West Trenton, Woodbourne, etc. And that's about it for the history of Bound Brook, so please enjoy the rest of the video. One more interesting thing to note is that the station buildings in Bound Brook are pretty much the same as they were back in the 1960s and prior, even in the 1950s. So if you look back at old videos of this place, the station buildings are pretty much the same, except they were, well, better maintained back then. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
I like the Pennsylvania one. But here I go.
Have a good day. Okay,